What's up guys, Nando here, back with one more video, and I appreciate you guys stopping by to watch this video with me. Now I'm in a different little setting. I'm actually doing this at break at work. Hopefully the audio is fine. Hopefully the video is still enjoyable, and it's still a video that you guys get some value out of. What I'm going to be doing is talking a little bit about the LG G6, things that I think you guys should consider, and a little bit of a battery life review. And that's usually what I like to do with my reviews. I like to discuss things that have stood out to me. Definitely talk about the battery life because that's important before I head into a final review. Now, the reason I'm not doing an unboxing of this phone is because there's plenty videos for that. So I've had the LG G6 for probably 3 weeks now, and I've used it almost every day. I've recently started switching back out to the iPhone, and I feel like I've got a good handle on what I think about the phone in terms of how it feels in hand, how I think the hardware is holding up, how I think the software is holding up, and I'm going to go ahead and talk to you guys that here in a little bit. So let me flip the camera back over so you guys can see the phone a little better, and we'll go from there. So here we go. Alright guys, I apologize for any camera shake. I'm holding this handheld in the car, as you guys can see. By the way, if you're interested in a car review, I've never done one before, but I just recently purchased this vehicle, a Hyundai Sonata Hybrid. I am very, I've been considering making a review on it, so if that's something that interests you, let me know in the comment section below. However, here we have in front is some battery life statistics on the LG G6. I want to go ahead and start off by saying that the battery life on this phone is okay. Out of all the phones that I've been using recently, OnePlus 5, HTC U11, iPhone 7 Plus, I use the Galaxy S8 Plus, this phone probably has the worst battery life. It just is the type of phone that's going to barely squeak out 4 hours of screen on time. More often than not, I'm going to get 3.5 hours of screen on time to 4 hours of screen on time. Now, what this phone does very well in terms of battery life is standby. Usually, you can unplug this phone at 100% and it's going to go 3 to 4 hours at 100%. If you're not using your LG G6, battery is going to last a very, very long time. But if you start using it, it's going to plummet. It's going to plummet fast. So this is just a brief example right here. I wanted to show you guys on a good day. I used the phone pretty heavily for almost an hour and 23 minutes. I was using the phone for an hour and 17 minutes. But at the end of the day, you're going to see right here, 4 hours and 20 minutes. And another case here, phone was on for 18 hours, 4 hours and 8 minutes. Phone was on for 21 hours, 4 hours and 3 minutes. Phone was on for 18 hours, 4 hours and 16 minutes. So you really, really got to squeak out those 4 hours. It's something that, you really, really, really got to make sure that you're using your phone to the very last minute. It charges decently fast. It's not like the Dash from OnePlus, and it's not like the Galaxy S8. It doesn't charge that fast, but it charges fast enough, I should say. Now, also looking at this phone, I've got a case on it right now, and one thing that I want to say is the hardware on this phone is absolutely fantastic. It actually feels very, very premium, feels very good in hand. I love the fact that the screen size and the bezel reduction makes this phone just more pocketable. It's a very, very pocketable phone. It's more pocketable than the OnePlus 5. Obviously, that has bigger bezels. I wouldn't say it's as pocketable as the S8, the smaller version, but it's basically there. It's a great job by LG in making a phone that has all the premium materials that you'd expect, and a phone that looks good. The camera in the back, or I should say the cameras in the back, don't protrude out. And these days you see a lot of people and their big old camera humps. You don't get that with LG G6. And that's something to be excited about. So hardware-wise, this phone is fantastic. Software-wise, that's another story. That's a huge thing to consider, and I'm going to kind of finish off this video with that. I absolutely despise LG skin. I hate their icons. I hate their layouts. I think they're super dated, and one of the first things I do when I get this phone is I just switch it right over to like the Google Now launcher, or one of those other launchers, Nova, etc. I just do not like the icons. I honestly feel like this phone, software-wise, lags even more than the Galaxy phones with their TouchWiz. And I'd love to know if I'm the only one that thinks that, but every time I use this phone for heavy periods of time, even with 4 gigabytes of RAM, 4 gigs of RAM, this phone is still lagging. And it's frustrating because people talk a lot of crap about TouchWiz, and TouchWiz at least brings a lot of functionality to the table, a lot of gimmicks, but there's a lot of things there that you can also find useful. With LG, there's really not that much gimmick-wise or little fun things that you can do with this phone that would that would allow you to say, okay, well, the skin is a little slow, but I can deal with it. And that's frustrating to me. I do not like the software experience on the LG G6. I haven't liked it in previous versions, but on the LG G6, I just feel like it's even more dated. It isn't a cohesive experience that you should be getting for the price. Now, with mentioning price, LG G6 right now has plummeted. I mean, you can get these new for like $300, $350. You can get them used for right around $300. I got this one new for $385. The price on this phone has completely dropped, and that's something to definitely consider, because if you're buying the phone at that price, this phone is completely worth it. If you're buying this phone at original retail price, the $650 and things like that, I don't know if it's worth it per se. The cameras on this phone is fantastic. The wide angle lens is fantastic. And overall, it's a solid phone. I mean, water resistance, waterproofing. So if you're looking at this phone right now, consider this. Can you deal with a battery life that's not going to be that good? Below average right now. Can you deal with the software? If you can, then I think this phone is going to make you extremely happy. And that's it for this video, guys. Definitely subscribe if you haven't so. Drop a like, and let's get a conversation going in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys for the final review of the LG G6. It's Nando. Peace from work. I'll catch you guys in the next one.